Hello.
And welcome to
Let the Girls Play. I'm Kelsey Bailey.
I'm Amelia Bain.
And we're here to talk about women's basketball, Unrivaled, WNBA.
This is going to be, I would say, like an Unrivaled heavy episode, but we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of these other leagues that we love so much.
We're going to talk about the play over the summer.
Yeah, the play over the summer. Once again, we are polyamorous for basketball leagues.
I feel like that would be like also a fun t-shirt. I'm poly for basketball.
I'm on my t-shirt beat. I've compared prices at multiple companies. I will be printing my own merch. That's how you get around giving up merch in 2025.
You make your own.
You start making your own merch.
Ethically sourced.
If you have suggestions, any listeners, for an ethically sourced t-shirt,
custom t-shirt,
merch, custom t-shirt company, send them to me because I'm new to this.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do it right.
We would love to make sure that our poly for basketball t-shirts are ethically sourced. A lot of things happening in the WNBA. We will talk about it at the end of this podcast because, I got to take a moment to say I was right.
Kelsey was right.
I predicted. I'm a genius. I'm an expert. Get me on ESPN.
Los Angeles just got a little more Kelsey, and we'll get into that, but that's a tease.
That's a tease. We're teasing. But let's talk about Unrivaled, week number 2. I think if I was going to summarize this week, I would say the week they got it together.
Do you mean the teams or like the experience of Unrivaled?
I think everything. I think the teams definitely. Week 1, it was like tester pancake or like the first pancake.
Like that you feed to your dog.
But I think, you had to like test it out. You had to see what you were working with. How hot was that griddle? And people realized, oh, damn, that griddle's hot. I got to be prepared for it. And I think a lot more people were prepared for it. And I think one thing that, from week 1 to week 2 that we all need to apologize for. And by we all, I mean, I think just me. But in that first game of the Mist versus Phantom, Brittany Griner, welcome. You are Unrivaled.
That was really stupid of us to be like, Brittany Griner is not the best player for this league because she was so dominant in that game against the Mist. Oh my God. And we would like to humbly apologize. Brittany Griner, we love you. You're the best. I'm gonna make some Brittany Griner merch.
Absolutely. It should say lemon heads. Did you see that clip where they were asking her about her favorite courtside snack? And before they even asked her, she just goes, lemon heads. It's really funny.
I'd like to remind, if you're a new listener, welcome. If you're new because of Unrivaled, welcome to Let the Girls Play. It's something that's important to know is we are not experts. So you knew this already, but I just want to say it again. And it was very evident in our Brittany Griner discussion last week.
We have been saying this since we launched this podcast in 2023. We are not experts. We go off vibes. And the vibe in the first week was BG was learning. And now she has learned.
And the vibe this week was, we have to figure out a way to stop Brittany Griner.
She even was injured. She had to go back into the Sephora locker room twice, limping.
She faked an injury. She wanted to go eat some lemon heads.
Yeah, she wanted to go eat some lemon heads and get shot up with ivermectin or whatever they give people to like.
Ivermectin is the dog. It's the thing that people were eating.
I know. COVID. Whatever they give them to sort of give them a boost.
She was chomping on the dog heartworm medication to then come back out and really give it to us.
For horses, I believe. But shout out to the Phantom. They got their first and unfortunately so far their only win. But they got their first win without Sabrina Ionescu, who decided to jet off to Paris.
I'm frustrated. I do think before people say, now wait a minute, it was in her contract. I think it probably was. She signed on so late. She had this commitment. She probably negotiated a deal where it's like, I'll play, but I have to go to Paris to Fashion Week. But it doesn't look good. And I still am like, I'll say it again. The Phantom traded away Tiffany Hayes and Jackie Young for Sabrina to go to Paris. That's not good. That wasn't a good decision, and we need to reflect.
As they say, the math is not mathing.
It is not, especially as I watched Tip balling out this weekend.
Oh my God, Tip losing her damn mind.
To have her
I think I would hate to play against Tip Hayes. If I was on the other team and I was playing against her, I would be just constantly frustrated.
She's so good. She did something. She was kind of like floating in the air. It looked like, honestly, she was not of this world.
Okay. extraterrestrial. Shout out to Phantom for winning without Sabrina. Pop off Satu. Love to see her balling out. And also Mist, hang in there. We just need...
Hang in there.
They signed Nalissa Smith to a hardship contract since Jewel Lloyd and Dejanay were going to be out for this game. And honestly, Dejanay and Nalissa on the same team. What is it? Baylor 2021 or whenever they were on a team together. That's so fun.
It's a nice little reunion. It's also nice because probably Nalissa was just in Miami because her partner is playing basketball, and then they're like, wait a second, would you want to play? And she's like, fine, I'll play.
We're gonna have Steph Dolson's girlfriend out there playing soon enough.
Shout out to my season ticket rep
And future Unrivaled player.
A lot of things clicked together. They got it together, but something was missing for me and for you.
From all of
weekend.
These 3 days of play, I don't know what happened, but the Boom Boom Room was closed.
The Boom Boom Room was closed. Maybe Lisa Leslie was in the Boom Boom Room. We don't know.
She went too hard in the Boom Boom Room. Lisa Leslie was nowhere to be found in these 3 days of broadcast. And I need to formally say, hell no, bring her back.
Bring her back. I thought the announcers did fine, but they were less entertaining. And also, like, they were too nice.
Too nice. They did carry over Sweet Baby Ray. Brandon Gleeson or whatever his name is. I think that's an actor. I think that's an Irish actor, I think. But Brandon, whatever his name is, he did carry over Sweet Baby Ray in honor of Lisa Leslie. But Lisa, please come back.
We miss you.
We miss you. The Boom Boom Room misses you.
Let's talk about this other game Friday night. Did we talk about it yet?
No, we only talked about Mist and Phantom. So shout out to Phantom getting your first win, and shout out to Natasha Cloud for being at that game. And then during the game, they interviewed Satu, who said that Natasha wasn't supposed to be at this game. She was supposed to be at her girlfriend, Izzy Harrison of the Chicago Skies, jersey retirement. But she was there. And that also makes Sabrina look like shit. Sorry.
I think if she comes back next weekend and just gives us like 15 3-pointers in a game, all will be forgiven.
But she better come back next weekend.
But she better be there.
Who is she? Jimmy Butler?
Ooh, Kelsey knows because I told her before Jimmy Butler is
being a bad boy.
Being a little stinker. Not playing for his team.
But I'll tell you who wasn't being a stinker in this Laces Vinyl game. Kate Martin.
Kate Martin was ballin'. And you know who noticed?
My love, Courtney Williams.
Yes.
I
loved that.
Love Courtney Williams. It's so nice to be able to see these players when they're not playing against the team that I'm rooting for in the WNBA and they're just being themselves. I love Courtney Williams. I love her when she's playing. I love her when she joined the broadcast during this game.
I prefer that to the interviews. I like just bringing them in to talk about the game because that's more interesting, you know? And Courtney Williams, smart basketball talker and really entertaining.
Really entertaining.
And so positive about the other players out there. She was like delighted by how Kate Martin was playing.
Yeah. That's what we're doing at Unrivaled. We're hyping each other up.
Absolutely.
And Kate Martin, I think, is going to come back to the WNBA this season and like really going to come into the Valkyries, and she's really going to be on her game. I think this was so smart of her to do this.
Yeah, her confidence is going to be
absolutely
through the roof coming out of this league.
I think for all of these rookies who are playing, like, it's just going to be such great experience to be able to come back to the league and have all of this this time that they've played against these other, like, dynamos in the league. They're going to be prepared. They are going to not forget,
Not a rookie, but Ray Burrell. Sweet Baby Ray, shout out. That's a player who I think is coming back to the W with a newfound confidence.
Absolutely.
There was something so funny that happened. I don't know if you noticed in this game. I think it was the third quarter. There was a timeout and the coach was drawing up a play and all the players were like watching what he was drawing up on the whiteboard, but then they realized the camera was looking and they all were like, bro, you're on the screen, bro. And I think it was Steph and Kayla were like trying to block the camera from seeing the play.
I do think that's like something that's really crazy. And it also happened with the Phantom because Brittany Griner literally pushed the camera like out of the way when they were like drawing up the play on the whiteboard. It's like, I think we need to let some of these teams have their huddle time without us being in there.
No, I need to be in there. I need to either have like my own feed of just like BG wearing a GoPro that I can see. Because there was another funny moment in a later game where Steph Dolson was like, wait, we challenged them?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh. It was just a sweet moment. Like,
we're really seeing the human side of the huddle, you know?
Yes.
We are demystifying the huddle. Huddles, they're just like us.
The huddle is vibes. Honestly,
The
huddle is just cultivating like a good. Sometimes it needs to be strategy.
The huddle is jokes. The huddle is bits.
The huddle is sometimes just like, hey, just relax.
Yeah,
we're good. I saw that in the huddle one time.
The huddle is whatever you want it to be. The huddle is a state of mind. Something else happened in this game that I just want to talk about really quickly. Our girl Arike got a tech, which I love.
Which we support. We are Arike girlies.
Maybe the first tech of Unrivaled? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Second. Kayla McBride got a tech for flopping.
Yeah. These refs. These fucking... I don't know where they got these refs from, but...
Sephora.
What?
They got them from Sephora.
Sephora refs.
They've been selling makeup. They've been slinging makeup for years, and they said...
Same
Have
colorway.
you ever thought about a career change?
Yeah. She's like, hey, we know that you're going to help with the Sephora fit tunnel. Would you mind just getting out on the court and just literally blowing your whistle at everything that happens?
Whenever you feel like it. Yeah.
But Arike did get a tech at the very end of the game, literally with like seconds left. And it was just funny. She went on Twitter afterwards and her just sort of explanation for the tech really made me laugh. She goes, valid crash out. Only apologizing to my lord, though, because he has been working on me and I took a step back tonight.
Arike.
God tries to prevent us all from having tech fouls.
God tries, but sometimes but sometimes the refs of life, they start blowing their whistle and you start having, you step back.
The ref is the devil on your shoulder. And if you start talking back to it.
The devil wears a black shirt with Sephora stripes.
The devil shops at Sephora.
The devil shops at Sephora.
Contoured to the gods. Yeah. Also, that's another good t-shirt.
So next day, it's Saturday, and there's still no Lisa Leslie.
Still no Lisa. Lisa watches at 0 because she's not there. But we have the Mist versus the Rose. And finally, my Rose get a dub.
Kelsey squad got it done. And the Mist, oh my gosh. Brianna Stewart's Mist drops to 0-4 to start, I believe, like a 14-game season.
I know. If Dejanay was at any of these games, if she was able to play, I really think that they would be winning. Because Dejanay does not lose, you know? I'm very happy for the Rose. I wanted them to get that dub. Pop off Lexi Hall. 19 points in like 10 minutes. Shout out Lexi Hall. She's also going to come back to the league like stronger than ever. She was having, towards the end of this WNBA season, Lexi Hall was really popping off. So I think her coming back, we could be looking at Most Improved Player of the Year. Oh, should I even call it now? Dare I?
Let's do it. Call it now.
I'm calling
Most Improved Player.
Before the season has even started, Lexi Hall, Most Improved Player in the 2025 WNBA season. Based on how she's balling out in Unrivaled.
I am going to go Sweet Baby Ray, Most Improved Player.
Yeah. If I make a prediction, you have to make a prediction at the exact same time, even if you don't have Sweet Baby Ray.
Yeah. Even if I haven't had time to think it through.
Point guard also popping off in the last couple minutes of this game. Chelsea Gray lost her damn mind. And also pop off Azure. I love watching Azure play.
Me too. You've got a little note in here, and I think it's a really good idea.
I said Azure to the Aces. I'm always thinking about who the Aces are going to get as their center, as their big.
Because need a big, yeah.
And I think Azure she's got that length, she's got that height, but she also can shoot the 3 ball, and she gets points. So if I was the Aces, I'd be finding a way to get Azure to the Aces.
That's a great idea.
If they can't get Elena Deladon, which I'm also riding for.
She is nowhere near but she hasn't even looked at a basketball in years.
No.
We're not. She's making wine. She's making her cutting boards. She's busy.
I think it's the reason I'm so unsettled by it is because we never got the chance to say goodbye.
Sometimes you don't get closure and you have to give yourself closure.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
The other game of on this Saturday, Lunar Owls continuing their 4-0 streak, undefeated, tied for number 1 in the league against the Phantom. I do have to say, in those games that they had her signed to the hardship contract, Natisha Heidemann was a game changer. She was really balling out, and I love watching her play. And that's why I'm calling her Short Queen of the Week. And she was really great. I mean, now she's playing with the laces. I think Natisha Hyman's just going to get, she said in like an interview, she's like, at this point, I'm just trying to get a little piece of everybody. I'm going to play for every team. She truly is unrivaled in that way.
She is unrivaled. Mm-hmm. But I think if we're talking about who is unrivaled, who is the face of the league, who is the best in the league, who's going to win every award, it's absolutely Fee, aka Queen Fee. They are really trying to make Queen Fee happen.
Yeah, they really are trying to make Queen Fee happen.
We'll try.
I don't think it's as catchy as Sweet Baby Ray, but
no, and we've already got Queen Bee, but not Jelani Hamilton, so it's tough for me. But Fee is unrivaled.
She really is. Her stat line is so crazy. It's just really crazy. It's like, how are you so good? Aren't you tired?
She's so good.
120% from the free throw line. She goes above and beyond.
She's shooting 120%.
She's getting bonus points for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also like arguably top 2 players in the WNBA. Yeah.
She's just crushing it. Dare I say a prediction for the 2025 season?
MVP.
It's going to be MVP for sure. There's no way I think she is fired up from losing the championship, from not getting MVP last year. She's fucking balling out here, and she's going to keep that momentum into the 2025 season. And everybody look out.
I think Lynx win the championship next year.
I think so, too.
In the same way that the Liberty had their little redemption tour.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And I think, well, all of these predictions, and we haven't said, I don't even think the Liberty go to the championship next year.
First round knockout.
Can you imagine? Oh, I'd be gagged.
By my best friends, the Atlanta Dream, knock out the Liberty in the first round. This means nothing.
Go.
We're making predictions about a league that we're supposed to be talking about a different
right now.
League. We're doing fan fiction. I want to talk about, we're getting a little artsy with it, doing our fan fiction. I want to talk about the Unrivaled crew getting a little artsy. We finally saw some drone shots. Mm-hmm. It was so disorienting.
We were wondering, when is this drone footage going to be used? We're paying a lot of money to rent this drone and have a drone operator. When are we going to see it? And we saw it, and it was fine.
It looked like it was I just had the feeling, can you switch back to the other angle?
Yeah, it looked like shit. The color was like off. Like, it's not as high quality. It's like, what are we doing? I don't think there's ever been a moment in my life, in my entire life, where I've said, I'd love to see some drone footage. There's nothing I want to see drone footage of.
Sometimes there'll be like you can see like a dog herding a bunch of sheep from a drone footage.
Okay.
And that is satisfying.
Drone footage should only be for animals in a nice way.
Yeah, the dog wasn't hurting them. It was herding them.
Yeah. Let's talk about Monday. Again, Lisa Leslie, nowhere in sight. Should you make a missing Lisa Leslie shirt, maybe? I don't know. We're getting a lot of screen printing dollars happening right now. But no Lisa. Boom Boom Room still closed for renovations. We look forward to welcoming her back. But we had a really great matchup with Vinyl and Lunar Owls. I had previously predicted Vinyl winning this whole thing. And now I feel like maybe I need to... it's still only 4 games into the season.
Well, they didn't have a really important part of their team. They were missing De'Erica Hamby.
Yes.
Which I think
out for personal reasons. She was out celebrating Kelsey Plum coming to the Sparks, but we'll talk about that later.
Do you know why she's out?
No.
It's like early appearance for her court case.
Ooh.
I think. That's what one of the WNBA reporters said. No, somebody on Twitter or Blue Sky.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know what that means.
Mrs. Hamby goes to Washington. So there was no De'Erica Hamby, but I do think we need to talk about, this was the battle of Amelia's best friends.
my best friends. They were giving each other a little handshake before the game started. They like did a handshake and then both put their goggles on at the same time.
A really memeable moment. Really beautiful.
And I think probably a lot of people are going to be knowing what I've known for a long time, which is that the most fun being had in the whole league is on the Atlanta Dream. That's where your friends are.
It's not the Aces.
It's not the Aces. It is the Atlanta Dream. The vibes are through the roof. Both of my best friends, of course I love them. Ryan had a not great shooting game.
Yeah, I think she only scored like 7 points for the whole game, or she was not.
It's the first game that she hasn't been off the charts.
Yeah, I think she also maybe got in some foul trouble, so I think it wasn't she maybe buckled under the pressure of facing off against her best friend.
Maybe. It's hard.
It's hard to play against your best friend.
Yeah, and she'll bounce back for sure.
Yeah.
I love Alicia Gray. She had a quote. I sent it to you, Kelsey. I don't know if you saw it. Alicia Gray in a press conference said, "I'm a shooter, and if I miss, it's not my fault." And then she commented and was like, "It's probably the AC or the rim or something if I miss." She's so charming. She's so funny.
Hootie hoo.
Infinitely likable.
Mm-hmm.
Hootie hoo.
Hootie hoo. Yeah, I feel like there might be a mid-season pivot to becoming a Lunar Owls fan.
I love that. Sometimes I find myself just going, hootie hoo.
Let's talk about this other game, the Rose versus the Laces. Welcome to the Laces, Natisha Heineman. This, like, for a while was an incredibly close game. Great play by the Rose. Shout out Slim. I love you so much, Brittany Sykes. Had a great game, was the top scorer for the Rose. She needs to be playing so much more. I love her. She's so good on defense. She's I feel like she's really made for 3-on-3 or in the 1-on-1. She's going to be really fun. I just wish that the Rose would play her more.
Yeah, and maybe they will after this performance. This was a good game, but it was also a weird game, especially by the end, because Alyssa Thomas was injured in the last game, so she's out. Steph Dolson fouled out near the end of the game. So there were basically... Oh, and then Angel Reese fouled out. So both teams by the end of the game had basically no bigs.
Yeah.
No bigs on the floor. And it became like just kind of wacky for the last couple minutes.
It was really crazy.
I maybe do overuse that word, but I don't think I'm incorrectly using wacky in this case.
It was comical the way that the Laces could not score that final basket to win. And they had so many, like, they couldn't make the free throws. They, got charged on an offensive foul. And then also on the Rose end, they also couldn't make it. It was literally, we were just going back and forth with the crowd going, oh, every time that somebody missed. It was a crazy last, 2 minutes to get to that winning score.
Yeah, I think everyone was just relieved when McBuckets knocked down that shot. It was like an ugly last shot, but it was just like, end this now.
I think they were all exhausted too, just constantly going back and forth without even a break to inbound the ball.
All right, let's talk about what I think Kelsey especially is excited to talk about. We've got some WNBA news. You know this. I'm sure if you're even barely aware of the WNBA, we had a blockbuster trade.
Huge
that totally
trade.
Shifted the landscape of the mostly Western teams in the league.
I will say, as someone who is new to Los Angeles, who will be going to Sparks games, I am very excited. There was a 3-way trade between the Aces, the Sparks, and the Storm. And I'm just going to go through what it all was. And I think we both have our takeaways of who got the best deal in this trade and just our thoughts. But before I do that, I just want to say I freaking called it. A couple episodes ago, when Jewel Lloyd said that she requested a trade, I said, I bet she goes to the Aces. And guess what, y'all? Jewel Lloyd is going to the Aces. The Aces in this trade get Jewel Lloyd in the number 13 pick in the 2025 draft.
I'm sure the Aces fans it's bittersweet, right? Because KP was part of that core that won them back-to-back championships. But I'm sure that they're also excited to get Jewel Lloyd, who is a superstar player.
Yes.
Olympian.
Yes.
Incredible player. I don't know that this solves the problem that the Aces have.
I agree.
I do think Jewel Lloyd, when she's playing as well as she can, is probably a better player than Kelsey Plum. more of an offensive threat, even though Kelsey Plum is also an offensive threat.
Mm-hmm.
But they need a big.
They need a big. So that's what the Aces get. The number 13 pick in the 2025 draft, I think, is interesting. I'm wondering who they'll get. And then, in exchange for this, the Sparks get Kelsey Plum. Welcome to Los Angeles. Welcome back to California, Kelsey Plum. She's from California, so a bit of a homecoming. And they get the number 9 pick in the 2025 draft. And the second round pick in the 2026 draft. In exchange for, Kelsey Plum and these things, the Los Angeles Sparks gave up their number 2 2025 draft pick.
Time will tell if that's the right decision, of course.
They're riding with
you never
KP.
know.
Yeah.
They're riding with KP. I think KP has said she wants to be in LA long term, or has at least hinted at it. I do think it's good to bring in some veteran leadership to this team with obviously Cam Brink, Rickea Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Mama D, De'Erica Hamby for some veteran leadership.
A beautiful reunion of De'Erica
Yeah.
Hamby and Kelsey Plum.
If you even have a teeny falling out with Becky, you are exiled to beautiful Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. You're getting shipped out. And then in this, the Storm, after trading away Jewel Lloyd and their number 9 pick in the 2025 draft, they get the number 2 pick in the 2025 draft from Los Angeles. So they will be number 2 in the draft, which is very exciting. They get Lee Yaroo, who I loved watching play last season, one of my faves. And they get a first round pick in the 2026 draft from the Las Vegas Aces. Honestly, I think the Storm kind of made out great.
I think you're right. I think if you have to get rid of Jewel Lloyd, it's not too bad getting a number 2 pick, Lee Yaroo, who is a solid backup big.
Yeah, a solid backup for Ezzy.
Yeah. And then, a number 2 pick and then a first round pick in 26.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it's
Storm
not bad.
Needed a win after the Valkyries said, we don't want any of your players.
Mm-hmm.
They needed a win.
Mm-hmm. I guess welcome to the Seattle Storm, Olivia Miles from Notre Dame, who I predict being the number 2 draft pick. So
Probably.
So, yeah, only time will tell. This is a crazy trade. I'm interested to see how Jewel Lloyd meshes in Las Vegas. Interested to see how Kelsey Plum meshes in Los Angeles. Wow, we interrupt this podcast. Emergency interruption. When we recorded what you are currently watching, it was a beautiful Tuesday morning, and then mere hours later, some of the biggest trades, shuffles, and transactions happened, and we said, damn, we got to get back on the pod.
They trickled out, and I was like, oh, sorry we missed that, And at a certain point, I was like, we have to interrupt ourselves from yesterday.
Yes.
With today's news.
We must silence ourselves.
Yes. Because they didn't know what was coming.
They didn't know.
Those old gals.
Oh my God, so naive. Dear God, I fear what could come after we record this. We just got to keep hopping on.
Asia Wilson.
Yeah, Asia Wilson.
To the Indiana Fever. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
Coach
God.
Of the Indiana Fever, Asia Wilson. But let's talk about it, because boy, oh boy, when it rains, it pours. And yesterday was a downpour. First, we got the big news of Alyssa Thomas to the Phoenix Mercury.
Yes, but we didn't get any details. We didn't get the details of what they traded for.
Correct.
Alyssa Thomas.
Alyssa Thomas, franchise player of the Connecticut Sun, is leaving to go to Phoenix. And we were like, wow, this is big. And then we found out the price. And the price was Phoenix traded away Natasha Cloud, my WNBA crush.
And the biggest Phoenix hype woman. She's been hyping the facilities, trying to recruit free agents.
That came back to bite her in the ass. She made it look too good. She did all the work, and then the general manager was like, "Hey, thanks for doing the work. You're going to the casino. Enjoy
Such
Uncasville."
Disrespect. I mean, I do love Uncasville. I love that casino, but it is not the best facility for playing basketball and training to play basketball.
Yeah, it's going from the best of the best to the worst of the worst. But joining Natasha Cloud will be Spida Rebecca Allen and the number 12 overall draft pick of the 2025 draft.
Yeah. And Ty Harris is also going to be making her way from Connecticut to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And probably DeWanna Bonner.
Yeah.
Coming back to Phoenix after some time in Connecticut. It seems
it's going to be a Connecticut summer in Phoenix is what it's feeling like. And we don't say that in a positive way.
I'm not going to make that shirt because I'm mad because we love Tosh Cloud.
We love Tosh Cloud. They did her dirty.
Tosh Cloud disrespect.
It's really crazy. Alyssa Thomas and Ty Harris to Phoenix. Enjoy the summers there. Tosh Cloud, Spida, number 12 overall draft pick are joining Connecticut, and they're about to see what the hell's happening at Michael Jordan Steakhouse.
Yeah. I mean, it is a good steakhouse. We had a good meal there.
Delicious blue cheese fondue. Yum.
I mean, there's a new coach in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Scrappy Doo's in Connecticut.
We have seen a lot of great chemistry.
Might be coming back.
Mm-hmm. A lot of great chemistry between Scrappy Doo and Tosh Cloud during Unrivaled, just interpersonally. So I think that will be like a nice vibe for her there. And they got Breezy still holding it down. So it's going to be a new sun is rising in Connecticut, and a new Mercury is in retrograde in Phoenix.
Yeah, truly a new Mercury, because 11 years, I think, Brittany Griner has been.
Oh, yeah. So then we had this piece of news. We're texting. We're frantic. We're like, oh, man, this came out after we recorded our podcast. And then, in all caps, I get from Mima, BG to Atlanta. Talk about a new day.
And thank God earlier in this episode, I patched it up with BG and apologized because, that's where my friends are.
Mm-hmm. You have to welcome to her your best friend circle. And it seems like, everybody in Atlanta, or some of the Atlanta players, knew about this for a while, because BG announced her movement via a custom content video of her on a fishing boat with her new teammates.
With some of the Atlanta, yeah.
Catching some big old fish.
I loved it. I'm happy for BG. I think a fresh start for BG, much needed. Does this mean, Diana Taurasi is hanging up her shoes? I don't know.
She's hanging up her long shorts.
Hanging up her long shorts.
Yeah, one long-shorted player out, a new long-shorted player, and Alyssa Thomas in. There's always got to be one person wearing the long shorts.
Well, they only have one pair of big shorts.
Yeah.
So they were like, Diana, are you done?
Yeah.
If so,
we got to find someone.
To Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah. But it is interesting. Like, you think about like this sort of team that helped bring Phoenix back last season, and just sort of like having one of their better seasons in the past years. And it was Kalia Copper, who's still there, BG, who is gone, Natasha Cloud, who is gone, DT, who is gone. So it's just Copper holding it down.
It's wild. I mean, we're going to have to really, I think with all of the new coaches and all of the players who've switched teams, I mean, it's really a new landscape in the WNBA.
It really is. And you know what? Change is going to keep on coming, because we have some rumors. Who knows? Maybe by the time this podcast comes out, they'll be confirmed. And then
probably as soon as we stop recording. Yeah.
Rumored, Satu Sabali speaking to Phoenix. Everything's happening in Phoenix. They really did a good job recruiting those free agents with their burrito days and touring of the facility. Speaking to Phoenix and New York. I don't think New York needs her.
I mean, you're never going to, if you can have her, you're never going to say, no, Satu,
Sure.
we don't want you to play with us.
Sure.
But I think there's, Courtney Vandersloot might be moving along to a new team. So there could be some cap space. I think, I don't know a lot about cap space, but what I do know is a lot of how the Liberty was set up was based on players taking less than the highest salary they could take. So will Stewie continue to do that? Will other players do that? It's unclear.
Only time will tell. Is Satu going to Phoenix, or is she going to New York? Or is she going to surprise us and go to the Valkyries?
Yeah, who's going to go to the Valkyries?
Who the hell knows?
But there's another rumor that I'm particularly interested in because it involves one of my best friends and also one of our WNBA crushes, Cheyenne Parker-Tyus. Apparently the Aces, a team that, you know, pretty seriously needs a big, is courting Parker-Tyus, and apparently she turned down meetings with other teams because she is so interested in playing in Las Vegas. Anyway, who knows if that's true, but we love rumors.
Also, just want to give a shout out to all of the WNBA journalists who are really breaking this news for us, really getting in there and getting us the information. Shout out to y'all for being on the beat.
While we're all distracted by the new shiny thing, Unrivaled, you guys are in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
You're focused. You're locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. So far, I'm not seeing anything else and no other breaking news, so I think we have ourselves covered, but who knows what tomorrow holds? Who knows what 2 hours from now holds? And I guess now we can cut back to the episode.
Yeah, we're going to turn it back over to your beautiful
us.
Hosts from yesterday. Us, a younger
Beautiful.
version of us.
Curvy, sexy, smart, funny, kind, sultry, informed.
That's us.
That's us, babe. Let's cut back to us. It was a great week for women's basketball. Really looking forward to you going to Unrivaled, being our sideline reporter, beat reporter, telling us all about what it is to be Unrivaled and a fan at Unrivaled. And everyone did great. Everyone did great this week.
Everyone did great, except for some people that got a little whistle happy, especially on Monday night. Of course, I'm talking about the Sephora refs.
Yeah, Sephora refs. So I guess we'll say everyone involved with women's basketball is a hero.
Except the Sephora refs.
Bye.
Bye.